Alright, so hi. I wanted to record a little commentary for this speed paint. So I started with just like the base sketch before I remembered to start recording, and then I just kind of started putting the characters in on top of that sketch. And if you're unfamiliar, the characters here, the one laying down, that's Scout, that's my boyfriend, and then there's me, and that's Shelley, the blue sketch. And you can see here I trace my own reference sheet to get the shape of the tail right because I'm lazy. And then I started drawing these little chibis to go on the side, just to have a few more little cute interactions going on. Drawing furries kissing is like unreasonably difficult, even when they're really simplistic and stylized like mine are. So this I kind of struggled with a little bit before it made sense to me. I ended up readjusting the line art after I finished it even, but it's alright, it's all a process. I literally line with the exact same brush that I used to do the sketching because I really like it. It feels nice. And then you can see here I switched to doing the line art for Scout, right in the middle of doing the line art for Shelley because I wanted to have his hair done in there so I could position Shelley's paw in his hair. But after I finished putting Shelley's paw in his hair, I just kept doing the line art for Scout because I guess I got distracted. And then here, his paw was giving me trouble, so I ended up like redoing the sketch entirely. And while I work on the liner here, I just wanted to briefly go over my thoughts on the piece itself. So this is a birthday piece for my boyfriend that I wanted to specifically hit on like the soft fluffiness of being together and like being in a relationship. So like the pose, I went with like the head in lap pose specifically for that reason. Like there's a lot of tenderness to it that I really appreciate. It means a lot to me. And just like the whole thing is meant to be sappy and gay basically because that's my true feelings because I'm gay. Anyway, we're moving on to the flat colors here now. A lot of the time when I'm drawing my OCs and other people's OCs, I usually end up often just kind of recreating the palette for the characters from scratch. Not like completely changing them, but kind of tweaking them a little bit to suit the style or whatever I'm going for in this specific piece. For this one, I actually didn't change their color palettes at all. I just went with exactly what I had already on their refs, and I kind of tweaked the world around them to fit their palettes rather than the other way around. And then at this point, the kiss was bothering me a lot, so I kind of cut out the line art and shifted them closer together and readjusted everything. I initially wasn't really planning on doing very much of a background for this, but even once I had kind of finished up the initial sketch, I kind of had a picture of what I wanted it to look like popping up in my brain, and by the time I was getting to quote-unquote blocking out the colors, I just ended up painting it, and I went into a full trance doing this. And it ended up being this sparkly nighttime scene, partially because of the song I had in my mind while I was working on it, and also partially because the night sky aesthetic and the moon and the stars, as cliche as they are, do mean a lot to me and feel connected and representative of my relationship quite a lot. And then I started shading. The way I normally do it is I'll just put like a flat of my shade color on top of the character, and then I'll just kind of cut out the pieces that I want or I feel like the light should be hitting instead of going the other way around. It just makes more sense to me in my silly brain. And I added a little bit of depth to the shadows with some painterly purple in here as well. And then I switched back over to the chibis, where instead of like the painterliness, I kind of just laid in my shadows and highlights, and I just airbrushed the edges just to give them a little bit of a softness. as you can tell, I'm kind of all over the place sometimes when I'm working on stuff. It's both because sometimes I'll stop and then I'll come back and forget what I was doing, and also just because I get bored and I want to do something else, so I'll just flip to a different part of my piece. And then I added this little cloud background that took me 5 billion years to decide how I wanted it to look. And then I painted in some little foreground elements here just to, you know, give the image a little more depth. And then I added in some little foreground elements, a couple extra finishing touches, and it was pretty much done. So yeah, happy birthday to my beautiful boyfriend. I hope you like it. You're fucking gay, and I love you, and I hope to spend 100,000 more birthdays with you for the rest of time. Okay, goodbye. I hope you liked the video. Look at my furry art.